Hey, how's it going? Got some new toy to play with today. Gotta show you. It's my buddy Patrick's. He bought a 2021 Polaris Sportsman 850. But we're gonna check this bad boy out. I hear it's pretty quick. I played with it a little bit, but obviously he brought it to me dirty, so we're gonna have to fix that first. So we'll do that right about. We're back. I washed it. It's not too bad. I just power washed it. I'm lying. I didn't really scrub it. But look upon it. It's pretty. It's not a bad looking rig, right? I mean, I looked it up online because I didn't actually know what color this is. Polaris calls it steel blue. This is the Sportsman 850 Premium, because if you go online, they don't list it. You have to actually go find it. It's the Premium. Pretty sure it's paint. It'll probably chip in the future. Hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, who cares? By then it'll probably be 10 years old. But we'll start in the front rack. It's plastic. Not a huge fan of that, but everyone I see nowadays, they're all pretty much plastic. The radiator's right behind here, which we have this fancy little plastic guard, which that'll help for sticks and whatnot, but it's good. It makes it easier to rinse the radiator out, get the mud out of there. And then they actually have this nifty pocket, which comes off easy for your winch, which Patrick is getting one. He ordered it. And a nice front bumper and a rear bumper. We'll do another video on that when it comes in. But we'll open this up. So it's got like these, you know, few like big rigs and whatnot. It's got that style hood release. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but it looks like, oh, they're riveted on. So keep that in mind. They're a little on the flimsy side. They might break eventually, but drill them out. The rivets, bolt in new ones, I would say. It's not a problem yet. Might be in the future. Let's look inside. So it's got this weird hinge setup. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is sturdier than the 570. This is water resistant. It is not waterproof because if you look inside, there's a little bit of water from me washing it. So if you're gonna put stuff in here, remember it might get wet if you get playing in the water. This is nice though. 2 clips. Take it, dump it. Here's your battery. Not a bad spot for it. I believe the older models used to be down lower. Here's the fuse panel. Pop that bad boy open. That I want to say is waterproof because it's got a pretty decent seal on there, which is actually a really nice spot for it because it's up top. It's easy to get to. Diagnostic plug. Radiator's right here. Your reservoir, the overflow, and your radiator, all easy to get to. I like that. That's not bad. That's a pretty nice setup right there. Oh, and look at here. You can even adjust your headlights. Oh, and for the sake of the video, if you hear the squealing, sounds like a little yuppie dog. It's actually this dog. It's my new pup. That's Big Dummy. He's all right. So up front, you got your gauge cluster. This starts like a car. So, key on. You have to grab the brake though. It's kind of like the new cars. You got to push the push start, but you get to grab the brake, turn. Voila! Short and sweet, because otherwise you can't hear me. We'll go back and turn that on again. So all your indicator lights, you got high beams. Here's your plug for your winch. So it's already pre-wired. That's nice. You just buy and it comes with all the goodies. High, low beams. So turn that on, that's your low beam, which low beam is just these 2 lower lights which we saw in the front earlier, and when you put your high beam on, that bad boy comes on, which the lower ones stay on in high beam mode too. The thing I like about the high beam with the light being here is when you turn, so does the light, so you get to see where you're going before you actually go there. It's better than a surprise when you actually get the lights there and oh yeah, there's a tree. So what is really sweet, I dig this. I wish more people did. Don't mind the clicking. I just turned the ignition off. It does that. It goes through a relay. That is for trickle charger. You don't have to run wiring or nothing. That goes straight to your battery. That's great. That makes life easy. You pull the quad in. It's going to be parked for a while. Boom, plug it in. Off you go. You also have a 12-volt plug. Don't mind Big Dummy. He squawks a lot. He's crying. There's chickens to play with. It's pretty neat. I like that idea. And then here. Sorry, Patrick, I lost that one. No, you can add switches. It's right there on the floorboard. But that's cool. They're already set to go. We got solicitors over there. Your kill switch, either way, perfect. And then over here, when the key is on, you can't really see because of the lighting. You can span through your modes by pressing this. I don't know if you can catch a glimpse of that quick. Just kind of bump through them quick. See all your fancy stuff, go through your information. But also, if you're in reverse, you hold that button down and you give her the love juice over here. Say you're stuck in the mud and you don't want to be on the rev limiter. No more rev limiter. You just give it all. Another fantastic feature on this quad that I like, cup holder. I don't know many other companies that put cup holders on there, but that's fantastic. I love it. Good job, Polaris. Here's your shifter. I'm not a giant fan on the shifter being here, but when you're in gear and you're riding, it doesn't bother you. It's actually pretty good. It's not a bad spot for it. So on your shifter, which anybody that ever goes to look at it will see that it's park, reverse, neutral, low, high. What if you haven't seen one in person, we're showing you, because why not? Up here, you got your throttle, which still is on a cable. It's not fly-by-wire. Got a two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and then this is ADC four-wheel drive. At least that's what the Manuel told me. And I guess it's for when you go down hills. It'll put the engine braking on all four tires, which the engine braking on this machine is phenomenal. It's like you don't even need brakes. It might be too much for other people. Welcome to the back of the machine. Granted, we'll go over some more other stuff later, but back rack. Love it, hate it. It's pretty good. It's different. It's got spots here for 5-gallon pails. So they kind of lock in once you strap them down because they're not just going to snap in. That's pretty cool if you're doing farm stuff, whatever, grain, horses, stuff along that line. Got nice aluminum handles here. It's pretty sturdy. Back storage area, which I forgot to mention in the front storage area, is they list it when they say it in the online. How they measure the size of it is in gallons. I don't know about you, but I don't put liquid in my stuff. No, I don't carry that kind of thing. But I guess if you wanted to, you could try it. This does have a drain plug in it because, yet again, it's not waterproof, water resistant, so be careful on what you put in the back. It's that new that he hasn't even taken out this stuff yet. Which, let's just see what's in the back. I already took the manual out. It's in the house. But you get a nice little DVD. You got a toolkit. Ooh, extra clip. That's nice of them. Some spare fuses. Always good. Tire pressure gauge, and it is a low tire pressure gauge, so that's good because you don't run a lot of pressure in your quad tire anyway. We have, well, it looks like this is a clutch tool on this end, and then this is a spanner wrench for adjusting your suspension. Couple more goodies. We got a Torx bit, which, oh yeah, it looks like everything's held together with Torx bits up here, so that's good to know. I don't know what size it is. It's not stamped on there. And some chintzy ass pliers, spark plug wrench. Important. No, it's not. We'll put that back. The seat. I feel like the seat leaves something to be desired. It's awfully squishy. It is comfortable, but I don't know. I'm more into a little bit of a stiffer seat, but it's definitely very soft. To remove it takes a little bit of finesse and massaging and, oh geez, hold on. Oh, maybe not. There it goes. Like I said, it's real easy to take off. But underneath, we got some goodies hiding under here. There's your engine, part of it, the back part of it. She is 2 cylinders, side-by-side fuel injection. Awesome. Belt drive. I see that being a pain in the butt later on in life when you gotta do a belt, but it's not terrible. I think you can, it's easy enough to get to. It's not the worst thing in the world. The air box, on the other hand, I'm not impressed with this lid. It's chintzy. I mean, it makes it easier to take apart, but it just seems awfully flimsy and cheaply done. But I'm sure it's not the worst in the world, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it back in there, but give me a minute. Here's your rear end. It's control arm. It has a sway bar, which actually makes a huge performance. Not bad. It actually makes it pretty stable. You don't get one up front. Your exhaust here, which I see is real nice because you do have heat shields, so plastic won't melt on you unless you've got real big problems. You got your Zerk fittings and your grease fittings here, whatever you like to call them. I call them Zerks, but for the other people, it's grease fittings. You got some on your control arms. You got some down in your knuckles over here. I don't know if you can see them too easily or not, but you see this stuff. If you're playing out in the swamp, that'll get wrapped around your shaft, your axle shaft here, your CV shaft, however you like to call it. Take it off, because if it gets wrapped around your boot, you're gonna lose your axle, and it's not fun to replace them, but they're not terrible either. And you can see, kind of see your belt drive back here, which now you can see why it kind of be a pain in the butt to change, but I see it not being the worst job in the world. So keep that in mind. This trailer hitch thing, I wasn't super impressed with that. It's kind of small, it's going to be kind of a pain. You can get the receivers, they make quad ones. It'd be cooler if it was like standard size, make life a little easier, so you just pull it off of your truck, hook it in, say you wanted to move your boat around or something, if you have a small bass boat. But it's there, it has one. It's just not standard size, so it's not completely out of it. Wheels and tires. I'm not a huge fan of the wheels. I personally like more offset, but they are nice. They're not terrible at all. They're aluminum, the 14s. The tires, they're not terrible. They're a good trail tire. I wouldn't call them a mud tire at all, but eventually you might want to go to something a little more aggressive, but it all depends on your riding and what you're doing. They are not stud and lug nuts. They're regular bolt style, kind of like a Volkswagen or a Beamer, if you know anything about cars or anything like that. Give you a quick idea what it is. And your oil fill. Check your oil, all that fun stuff. Right here. That's a pretty sweet spot to have it. It's out in the open and not really hard to get to. You can just put a regular average funnel on that and get to it. Fuel tank's there. Another nice thing. You're not trying to get it up here and splash it all over your seat. Say you have a miss up. Trust me, I know, I've done it before. That makes it pretty nice. The only thing I see a problem with is maybe the paint job, getting some gas on it might be an issue. Don't worry about it. Got EPS, electronic power steering. Very nice. Right now, gotta put a little effort into it to do that. Just simply turn the key on. That's nice. Super nice. So my overall thought on this thing, it's a sweet machine. I wouldn't be mad if I had one. Would I personally go out and buy this one? I said the seating setup on it is more of a laid-back trail ride workhorse setup. I would go with more of an aggressive stance. Overall, fantastic machine.